Hello and welcome to the fourth pillar. Today our special guest is Sankha Subhra Devbarman. He is the Regional Director Northeast of India Tourism and he is also a well known poet and writer. He writes mainly in Bengali, but his articles and his novels got translated into different languages, and he is a man very close to nature. So please welcome Mr. Sankha Subhra Devbarman to our studio.
Thank you.
Mr. Devbarman, what exactly is the role of India tourism in Northeast? Because all the 8 states have their own tourism department, tourism development corporation. So what exactly Government of India tourism?
Fantastic. I really like this kind of intelligent questions. And sometimes people do get confused with once again name. It connotes so many things. Sometimes they call me, oh sir, you are from Indian Tourism Development Corporations. It a little bit make me anger. Why should I be the officer of ITDC? We are the main officer from the main organizations and officers of government of India. We are not a corporations. And sometimes people do ask, sir, already every state is having its own tourism offices. Why we are what you are doing over here? Actually, the thing is that there is a difference between the state government objectives and our own objectives. Our objective is to promote the country as a whole. Suppose now I am in Assam. My primary objective will be to promote Assam in the global platform. At the same time, with Assam, my aim and objective will also be to promote the entire country. So this is the main objective or main purpose of having the or existence of our India tourism or Ministry tourism. We don't think locally, we think globally for promoting our country. And as you know that you have come across our all senior colleagues, so we are having the offices throughout the globe, almost all part of the globe. It is like this. If you come to Assam Tourism Office and you ask anything about the GIRIJANANDA, Povitara, Jatinga, Lamding, they will give you the local informations. But if you come to my office, I will be giving you from Guwahati to Mumbai, from Kashmir to Kanyakumari, from Assam to Maharashtra, from Tamil Nadu to Kashmir. So all kind of informations you will be getting from my office. So the objective of India Tourism or Ministry of Tourism is to promote the country as a whole. That's why we have the existence over here.
See, I personally feel, since I am from this region and you are also from
Absolutely.
this region, so 8 northeastern states are the most beautiful states in the whole country.
No doubt about it.
So what if you see the footfall of tourists? More tourists go to other places, but they don't come to Northeast, too much. So what is the main reason for tourists not coming in large numbers to Northeast?
See, I mean, you are a son of the soil, I am also son of the soil. We know the practicality, what kind of things are going on. Logistics is a big problem, connectivity is a big problem, and accommodation is a big problem. You might be thinking that why I am talking about the accommodations. We have to think out of the box, we have to think globally. There are people who are multi-millionaire, those kind of people, and there are countries, I mean, their standard of living is very high. They after coming to India and after coming to this part of India, they might be thinking that the infrastructure is not up to the level of their expectations.
Not of international standard.
Absolutely. So,
Mr.
we need to bring ourselves to that level, and for that, you need the help of the corporate sectors. I mean, basically, we are facilitator, and as you know that you quite well aware of this fact. Gradually it should be also. Government is actually day by day reducing its role, and keeping in mind about the effectiveness of open market. Now things will be much more in the hand of the corporate sectors and the private sectors. This need also of the hour. The problem is that I mean of late, although big houses are coming, but they should come in a much more in a great number. And I do not say officially. If you allow me, permit me to talk about the personally, my personal views that sometimes we need our own self introspections also, because there are certain political movement which actually goes against our development.
Well, we meet a lot of tourists from mainly from West Europe, dollar rich and pound rich or euro rich tourists from West Europe. They land in Delhi, they go to Agra, and they go to Jaipur, and
Golden Triangle. It is being called a Golden Triangle.
I was coming to that. So they visit the Golden Triangle and they fly back home. So they believe that their understanding of or visit of India is complete if they visit these three places. Of late, there are some people who have started visiting Kerala also, because it's being described as God's own country. Whereas if we look at Northeast, India tourism has been promoting Northeast as enchanting Northeast. Such a beautiful place, so much of diversity, land, people, culture, cuisine, costume, so many things. But why Government of India tourism could not promote Northeast, the 8 states of Northeast, the way Jaipur, Delhi or maybe Agra is being promoted?
This is very complicated to me, and despite, I just want to say that despite the government good intentions, there is a very, very strong lobby who wants to sell the products, and those products are exclusively kept in only in the particular region of a country, and this is the way they want to portray. Government is trying to actually break that kind of chain, and for the last 5 to 10 years, the picture is getting changed, whether you accept or not, but the reality is picture is getting changed. Yes, a lot of Europeans and Americans also, they do got the impressions, they do get the impressions that India means the Golden Triangle, Agra, Delhi, Jaipur. This is only the part. India is 6th largest, am I right? 6th largest country in the world. It's so big geographically, culturally, linguistically, it is so vast. Northeast is one of the unique places, no doubt about it. Yes, for the 5 to 10 years, the situation has gradually changed. Our graph of incoming tourists to these regions is just going high and high. So there is no questions of dissatisfactions. The graph is quite encouraging, and due to the influence of particular group or business the circles, picture is getting changed due to the emergence of new generations throughout the globe. You cannot influence them merely through your publicity or propaganda machines, because new generations, you will have to understand the mindset of the new generations. They are very, very net savvy. They do get the latest informations through net, and they check, cross check, etc. everything. And to top of that, new generations are free from the preconceived notions that if I come to Northeast, I will be getting the same kind of same level of 5-star luxuries, etc. everything. Not like this. Suppose if you go to Varanasi and if you don't get the smell of the dead body burning smell in the air, so it will be little bit unrealistic. But after going to Varanasi, if you get the smell of burning dead bodies in the air and you started expressing your anger, saying that this is a bad place, I have come here for the spiritual experience, what kind of nasty, disgusting place this is, unacceptable.
So,
Northeast, you are coming to Northeast, here you are supposed to enjoy the fragrance of the jungle, you are supposed to enjoy the folklores, dance, cuisines, and to top of that we have so many rare endangered species. Nowhere in the world you will get. We have a clouded leopard. Those kind of leopards are only available Southeast Asia and Northeast India. In Tripura, you are having the Chashma Bandar, which is being called the spectacle monkey. In the Assam, you have the rhinos, rare species of rhinos. Nowhere in India you will be getting it. Even in Arunachal Pradesh, we are having the snow leopard. You might be knowing it this very well. There are so many endangered species. First of all, you enjoy that one. You are not coming here for the luxuries, comfortable. Rather, you merge yourself in the lap of the greeneries.
So, for Government of India Tourism, what is your USP for Northeast?
That once again, nature, tea tourism, monsoon tourism, tribal tourism, I mean the list is endless.
How much have you done, promoting all this tourism?
We have been, it is a relentless efforts going on. Even in in the prevailing situations, I have been keep on writing in the newspaper about the less propagated regions in the Northeast, like people know so much of Kaziranga. Hardly people know about Povitara. In Povitara, equally as good as Kaziranga, and to top of that, rhinoceros sighting is almost guaranteed. And the bird watching is such a beautiful place. It is supposed to be the paradise for the bird watchers. Lesser known destinations I am trying to explore. In every month, at least 2 articles are coming up. Then from my office, right now we have been going vigorously to highlight Northeast as much as possible through various with the various subjects, like film personalities in Northeast, like the music personalities of Northeast. As you know that those things actually we are enriched, like in the Bhupen Hazarika, legendary singers like Bhupen Hazarika, Sachin Devbarman, Rahul Devbarman, Zubin, Gork, etc. Everything. We have been actually theme wise. We have been almost every 2 weeks we have been making this kind of things.
How does it help in tourism promotion?
First of all, you need a awareness, you need a curiosity, you need a storytelling. These are integral part, and these are actually a strategy to attract the visitors much more.
Don't you think that 50 years of insurgency in the Northeast has affected the growth of tourism in the Northeast?
Being in the chair of government, I suppose not to discuss anything about the that political things, but any kind of agitations spoil. Any kind of last year's Japanese Prime Minister supposed to come along with our honorable Prime Ministers, and he used to declare a quite big amount of projects, etc. Everything related, big amount of related projects of etc. But things could not materialize. Those kind of things would have been brought a lot of prosperities in the region. So continuous agitations, it spoils the things. Same kind of things I have seen in Kashmir. First time in Kashmir, late 80s, when that time I was a school kid, I had been there along with my family. It was a family trip. I still remember, because it was a time, I mean the pre-teen area time. Sorry, when your memory becomes quite graphic. I still remember that Dal Lake was so beautiful, and you just ask any senior persons, 60s, 70s, even up to 80s, all Hindi films, the background of Kashmir. I mean, such a serene, such a majestic, such a pictorial, such a ethereal. Then I had been there 2016 and later on 2018. I could not, equated the Kashmir which I saw in my pre-teen times. Dal Lake lost its serenity. Dal Lake became like any other muddy water. I still remember the first time when I saw the Dal Lake's water, I was mesmerized. I mean, water of a lake can be could be such a crystal clear.
We believe things are going to change very soon in Kashmir.
Actually,
yeah, coming back to Northeast, say if we take the case of Assam. Assam, couple of years ago, appointed a brand ambassador, a Bollywood beauty Priyanka Chopra as the brand ambassador. So, has such initiative helped Assam tourism in any way?
See, you need a brand ambassador, you need a slogan. And Assam government is doing very well. I am very satisfied with the performance. For marketing strategy, like you have made this cup beautiful. I really liked it, and I think that you will be giving me this coffee mug. You have branded this one. Without the branding, this mug doesn't have any value to me and lot of people. So branding is very much essential. Now you could have rather asked me that why Bollywood. See, situation was a bit different even 5 to 7 years. Now you are having such a huge personalities in life, like Hima Das. People love now Hima Das. Zubin Gaur. There are a lot of personalities are now coming up. Bhupen Hazarika may be the all India figure. Sachin Devbarman, they are actually crossed the barrier of everything. They are actually they are the heart of the every Indians. But people like Zubin Gaur, Hima Das, there are other top level personalities also who are actually can be very nicely promoted as a brand ambassador of Assam.
We'll take a commercial break now. We'll come back after the break and talk more about Northeast tourism and your literary life.
Thank you.
GIRIJANANDA Chowdhury Institute of Management and Technology, Guwahati. First private engineering college of Northeast to have NBA accredited programs. Approved by AICTE and affiliated to Assam Science and Technology University. Online admissions open for all courses for 2020-21 session. For more information, visit gimt-guwahati.ac.in or call us at 98641 51408.
Welcome back. We are talking to Sankha Subhra Devbarman. He is the Regional Director of India Tourism in charge of Northeast. So, he is based in Guwahati. So, we have been talking about tourism prospect and problems of Northeast. So, he has another side of his life also. He is a well known writer, a poet. He writes in Bengali, Kokborok, English, Hindi and even Assamese. If I am not mistaken, you write also in French.
Some of my books are actually being translated in Assamese, but Kokborok also translated, but not done by me. But basically, I am a Bengali writer. I do write in English, but my main focus is in Bengali.
Okay. Since you come from Tripura, you are from the royal family of Tripura, and your primary language is Kokborok. So, you have another ethnic group in Assam. They are known as Bodos. So, Bodos and Kokborok, language wise, in ethnicity wise, they are supposed to be two ethnic cousins. So, did you try to find any kind of literary correlation between Kokborok literature and Bodo literature?
See, the ethnicity wise, Bodo and Tripuris are the same. Understood. Somehow, in a course of in ancient time, in course of times, Tripuri got separated from the main tribe. Language wise, it is almost same. Accent may be little bit variant here and there, but the language is same. And maybe the group which got separated in ancient times, maybe they were much more organized and innovative, much more skill oriented. This is the reason that that's why they got their own land, and they got their own royal administrations. Afterwards, everything build up on the basis of that basis.
So, did you try to study little bit of Bodo literature so that you can equate or correlate it with Kokborok literature?
See, as I told it's a very sensitive because literature wise. So, what I found out is that Bodo and our own Kokborok, the same a kind of cry for getting back the lost land, not in terms of politics, in terms of getting back that nature which was earlier virgin, getting back that kind of ecological semblance, etc. There is a cry for the restore back the ecological balance. That kind of resemblance is there. Like Sankha Devbarman's Hachuk Khuriyo, one Kokborok novel. It was one of the masterpiece in Kokborok literature. Once again, in that novel, the crisis of Tripuri people, nature, forest, the wildlife, etc., came up. So, the same kind of things in Bodo literature also.
So, did you read any Bodo writer's piece or any poem, Bodo poem? You like any Bodo writer?
I have sporadic. It was a sporadic. I have not till now that organized way or oriented way I have gone through, but sporadic. So, I have gone through.
So, you are from Tripura, and Kavi Guru Rabindranath Tagore played a very important role in cultural movement in Tripura, and he was particularly very close to the royal family of Tripura. And so, did you draw any kind of inspiration from Tagore's work in Tripura, or maybe in other places like Meghalaya, because Tagore wrote some of his best best writings in Shillong, like Shesher Kobita, Rakto Korobi, and all that. So, how do you rate Tagore's association with the Northeast?
See, I belong to that family, as I told you, then we belong to Thakur family, which belongs to, once again, which is closely related to the Tripura royal family. And I born and brought up in such a cultural atmosphere, it has a huge influence on my mind, It helped me to nurture my innovations, ideas, etc. everything. And the stories are endless, our connections with Rabindranath Tagore. We draw our lineage from Birchandra Manikya. Birchandra Manikya's daughter Kumudini Devi was the granny of my dad, Sholil Devbarman. Once again, he is a very active social worker, very quite known in Tripura. Then my mom also, once again from the same royal family, they were actually relative also. It was a love marriage for them, but they have a kind of close relationship. So my mom's her father's connections with Colonel Bari, and Colonel Bari has once again tremendous contribution for the lot of developmental work in Tripura. Rabindranath Tagore, when first time he came to Tripura, Maharaja Birchandra Manikya made it a point to Rabindranath Tagore to stay in Colonel Bari, because that time also there was no good rest house for him. So he stayed over there. And my mom's granny Shoshi Manjuri Devi was very close to Rabindranath Tagore, and she was in charge of taking care of Rabindranath Tagore. And Rabindranath Tagore, my mom also wrote an autobiography, Patar Bhela Bhashai Nire. It is a Bengali, and that line actually is borrowed from one of the songs of Rabindranath Tagore. Patar Bhela Bhashai Nire. Nire means water. Bhela means paper boat, or the boat made by the leaf of the tree. So in that autobiography, she wrote that first time when Rabindranath Tagore came to Colonel Bari, my mom's granny Shoshi Manjuri Devi was in charge of taking care of him, and along with other women and ladies of Colonel Bari, they made a nice arrangement for him with all flowers. And you might be knowing, I think that you know this, Tripuri women who are actually from royal family, I do not know whether it is a mandatory or not, or by birth they inherited some kind of talent, They are very talented and apt in handicrafts. In course of conversations, I just want to mention one thing also, because this kind of stories are endless. My that granny was a princess, Kumudini Devi. We still preserve two riya. Riya means risa, it is being called rignai or risa. It is actually women actually tie up in the chest. It's like a blouse, She made two rignais with the thread of silver and gold, beautifully crafted. I think that, have you ever seen the rignai, risa? this kind of size, and it is in a long cloth. It is woven with gold and silver thread. Beautiful. So, for Rabindranath Tagore, when he came first times at Cornwallbury, first day, the women of and ladies of Cornwallbury made everything with the flower for Rabindranath Tagore. In the bed, it was written with the flower, Rabindranath Tagore, and he was moved so much. He didn't lay down in the bed, Instead of, he told to arrange somewhere else to go for the sleeping. So that kind of things, And he wrote at least 2 songs also at Cornwallbury.
So, recently what did you write, after coming to Guwahati?
I've been keep on writing on regular basis. I've been writing a novel once again about the plight of Tripuri women, then various articles I've been writing off and on, like on Corona. I have written 2 articles. Once that initial stage when Corona was about to spread for the world, at that time Chinese were targeted ethnically throughout the world. I mean, this is also bad, I mean, for a particular kind of things, you should not target or victimize any particular ethnicity. This is bad. If you want to blame, you must blame to the government, not to the people. We are having so much tension with the Chinese government. We don't have any problem with the Chinese people. This is my government stance also. Chinese people are our friend. Our conflict is with the Chinese government, not with the people. So my writing was first. The second writing was about the why disease like Corona actually is coming up in human beings. It is due to the once again the destruction of the forest and killing animals, indiscriminately. There are so many viruses in the jungle, the forest. See, nature has its own balance. If you destroy the balance, if you just kill animals indiscriminately, it will have some debilitating effect on you. Nature is omnipowerful. You cannot actually surpass the nature. If there is anything powerful like God, it is nature. For me, nature is God. Nothing else.
So, in last, when did you come to Guwahati? When did you come to Guwahati to take charge of as regional director?
2018 in the month of August.
Okay. So, it is almost 2 years now.
Years.
So, in 2 years, which all places in the northeast you have visited?
I travel all the places. I travel all the places.
Which place, according to you, is the most beautiful in northeast?
See, the thing is that as I told you, my focus is actually to explore the lesser known destinations. There are so many lesser known destinations which are as attractive as any other much more publicized states in region in northeast. Like there is one village in Nagaland where you will have the particular eagle which comes from Siberia, and their ultimate destination is in South Africa. On the way, they actually take rest and they nest and they do lay the eggs. So that village is now become famous for bird watchers.
What is the name of the village?
Name of the just right now I have forgotten. I'll let you know.
Are you talking about the Amur falcons?
Amur falcons, Amur falcons. Amur falcons.
That's
and you know that
Doyang area.
No, not Doyang area. Not Doyang area. So I have to check it. So many places. I mean, plethora of places. Interestingly, that particular aspects are being taken up nicely by one woman who was earlier in your profession.
I know.
Her name is Banu Haralu.
It's a good friend.
Now she given up her that previous professions. Now she is actually trying to save the Amur falcons.
Yeah, we are good friends.
Then in Manipur, everybody knows that all places like that Imphal and that Shanghai deer and that
Loktak Lake,
etc. I have written one article about the Andro village. Andro village is one of the most ancient village in Manipur, and it is unique in its own way. Like in Tripura, everybody knows Matabari temple in Udaipur, then Unukuti, the Jampu hills. I have written about I think that maybe in India, the first bat park. Bat park was built by Tripura Tourism along with the Forest Department of Tripura government. There is a place called Bagma. It is in South Tripura. There are 5,000 bats. Now, I mean, you can actually see the bat also. You can actually observe them. You can actually study them. You can also understand so many things. Because due to coronavirus, bat become now much hated animal. But bats are so much useful animal for us. A lot of people might not be knowing it. Due to bat, there are 500 trees, useful trees for us, get pollinates. Due to bats, our food chain is still intact. Bats help us to actually pollinate the things, and due to these things, we get our own food grains. One bat can eat off 1 hour 500 to 700 mosquitoes. So bats are not only the carriers of the viruses, bats also very much important for us. So I have written about the bat park at Bagma in Udaipur. So this kind of things I am trying to, like Povitara, as I have written also Povitara. People know everything on Kaziranga. Hardly you just ask to you go to Delhi and ask that why didn't you come to Povitara? He will be looking at you. He or she will be looking at you. Now, what is Povitara? They even might not be even heard the name of it. Things like this. So there is no dearth of places, lesser known destinations, which are as good as any other much publicized places in the Northeast. I like all the places. Particularly naming any will be unjustifiable.
So how long you will be staying here? You will be here for some more time.
We are in the government job, so our things are not like any ministers or MLS fixed. We don't have a fixed tenure. Anytime I may be told to go back to Delhi. So there is no issue. Issue is that how actually passionately you are carrying the regions in your own heart, that matters.
So last 4 or 5 months of your working time got spoiled because of corona. So during this last 4 or 5 months, you definitely had some plans for development of tourism in Northeast. So which are the plans which remained, suffered a setback because of particularly this problem?
First of all, let me tell you, my work has not been changed. My urge for taking some leisurely period for rest has not got any respite, because even before March also I was so busy. I used to move in so many places, hardly my colleagues know, hardly I used to get time to sit in my office for a while, all the times, most of the times I used to fly, and either you are calling me, either I have been responding you from hotels or guest house or in the airport or security check. So only the mood of my contact was only the smartphone. So, scenarios like this. Then when lockdown started, my initial thought was that okay, for the time being I got a much needed rest, leisure and pleasure, but it was just like a imagination, nothing more than that. Of late what happened, everything's now are being done through online. I have been doing so many things, official work through online, as well as as you know that I have two entities, writers and I'm a poet and writer, and my friends, my acquaintance are actually calling me, Dada, just participate in that particular programs, you need to be there. So after in the morning or afternoon, in the evening in the office, I have been doing 2 or 3 programs in the online. I'm coming back to the office, coming back to my quarter, and once again I have been just going through the webinar or Facebook Live or YouTube programs, etc., for reciting my poetry, stories, etc. Then after completing everything, it becomes 12 o'clock in the night, and situation become like this. My life has not been changed at all. Rather, to me, due to the online program, we have been officers like we've been become much more under the close watch of the our own big bosses. We have been all the times under the scrutiny. Thing is like this only.
See, as you said, Northeast was getting foreign tourists coming for last few years because of good work of your officers and your department, they started taking interest in Northeast. But don't you think that Corona and this pandemic is going to affect that in the coming months? And do you think there is any immediate way out to resolve this problem?
See, I want to tell you, when that Corona, the pandemic started, around April, May, I must not even, I should not even say audaciously how much losses we have been incurring in a place like Northeast. It's not like I should not say, but roughly in the month of April, May, it was around Indian currency 200 crores, roughly. So you can imagine now it's August, and you must not think only about the main industry. You need to think about the ancillary industries also. So many things. So the number is colossal, unimaginable, astronomical. So what to do? I mean, there is a huge loss, no doubt about it. But having said that, I keep on saying, I have been keep on saying to everybody that Corona will not be there for eternal times in Northeast. Good times will come. Good times will certainly come, and post-COVID scenario, Northeast will having the brightest tourism prospect throughout the country. You know why? Because our tourism products are all nature based. It is not like like other popular destinations in the other country, other places in the country, in our country, where earlier you used to go along with the friends, along with your all acquaintance, with a huge number of groups, and enjoying with a lot of cacophony. No, this kind of things for the next 2-3 years may not be possible. You need to enjoy the tourism, that kind of tourism, where you need to already, I mean, you are like, if you go for mountaining, if you go for a trailing, if you want to enjoy the tea tourism, if you want to go for a cave explorations, or just if you go for a to enjoy the nature, flora and fauna, you normally you will have to maintain the social distance. You need to maintain the calm and peaceful, lot of silence. So in the coming days, our products will be the sorry, much more fitted and suitable for the post COVID-19 scenario. Now it depends on the state governments as well as the private parties how to actually explore this steep cutthroat competitive age, how you will be exploring the products, that will be depending on you. From our side, there will be no dearth, and still there is no dearth of effort for publicizing these things. I myself actually trying to convince the people after 3-4 months when the situation will improve, come enjoy the nature tourism, because people are already stressed, tense. How long one can stay in within the 4 walls? It is like a imprisonment. Lockdown.
Yes, good to know that you are confident that tourism sector is going to bounce back after the pandemic is over.
Absolutely.
And Northeast will be a very important destination for foreign tourists as well as domestic tourists, because Northeast tourism sector is very close to nature. So that is also a very encouraging statement from you. So thank you very much, Mr. Devbarman, for sparing your time and talking to us on prospect of tourism sector in the Northeast. Thank you for visiting
Thank
us.
you, and I must congratulate you as you are doing so fine, and I hope that the day will come when you will have much more global acknowledgement, and I also congratulate you that you people are doing so many things as a frontline warrior against the COVID pandemic, and victory will be ours, no doubt about it. And just once again I am telling, stay well, stay safe. Thank you once again to all.